Oh man, this is awesome. It's already the 100th episode with Mike Rand. Congrats to you, brother. I'm really happy to see this go as far as it is right now. Here's to the 100th episode, and then here's the 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 more down the line, man. Happy for you, brother. Congratulations, man.
Hey, y'all, it's Kona Tonga from WoW, and I just want to wish Mike Rand a happy 100 episode. Chee-hoo!
Hey everybody, it's Chaos Tonga from WoW, the best tag team here. And I just want to wish a happy 100th episode to the Mike Rand Show.
Mike, happy 100th episode. Oh my gosh, we made it. I'm so proud of you. Happy 100th.
The show made it to 100 episodes. That is amazing. Congratulations. Can't wait to have 100 more.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mike Rand and these exciting exclusive interviews you won't find anywhere else.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Mike Rand Show and my special co-host today for the 100th episode is from G.L.O.W, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. Please welcome back Hollywood. Hey Hollywood, how are you?
I am good, Mike. Oh my goodness, 100 episodes. So tell us, how did that come about for you?
So, this show originally wasn't even intended to be a show. I was originally just going to interview maybe you and a couple other G.L.O.W girls and just put it out on YouTube. And I had a friend who said, Mike, you love doing this sort of stuff. Why don't you turn it into a really nice little podcast, a little talk show? And I said, you know what? That's a really good idea. So I then, reached out to you, reached out to a few girls, and he said, don't worry, because I'm not very technical with things. So he said, I'll help you out here, put this show together. So I reached out to you girls and, the rest is history. We got the G.L.O.W girls on board. Then we reached out to some WoW girls and we sky's the limit. We just kept going from there.
That's awesome. I think you had some American Gladiators too, right?
Yes, we had the American Gladiators. We had so many people that are on this show. We're gonna go through all those guests right now. And I know, are we having any special guests today too?
I was just gonna say that. We have a bunch of special guests, and let's see what they have to say, Mike.
Yep. So what we're going to do first, though, is I want to show you some of those G.L.O.W clips because without G.L.O.W, there would have been no show. So right. I owe it to the G.L.O.W girls. So let's take a look back at some of the special moments with the G.L.O.W girls.
Hello, America. It's Colonel Ninochka. Today is a very important day in America. I know you worry about COVID, but it's finished. Something more important is happening. Colonel Ninochka is coming out of hiding to go on greatest American show, Michael Rand.
Dear Ashley, my name is Tim. Hi, everybody. Tiffany Mellon here on the Mike Rand Show with all the latest G.L.O.W gossip.
I did write Godiva's backstory and I gave her the British accent. And I went up to Matt and Steve and I said, can I have a horse? And they said yes. It was as simple and crazy as that.
So Donna's favorite movie was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So they said, yeah, Chainsaw, that's a great name. And she could carry a real saw and it could have a real blade. What? Yes, and she could chase people and cut things. And Matt Simber is saying, yes. And I'm thinking, you're killing me here. I'm gonna die. And it was just like, I've never known anything about a chainsaw or anything like that. And he made me go out and buy the saw, put it together, learn how to use it. I had a chainsaw in my room and I had to carry it throughout the casino everywhere I went, including the buffet. Can you imagine walking around? Anybody that got into an elevator with us when I was in full makeup surprised me if they stayed till the next floor. Like everybody would get out on the next floor. You're standing in an elevator with somebody who looks like me with a chainsaw in their hand in the Riviera Hotel. That's got to be a little weird. That person says nothing. They don't say anything. They just watch you with the chainsaw. So it was a little something.
We went to the Riviera Hotel. We saw the girls training, and we're looking at this, and we met David McLean, and I'm like, I don't know. We're looking at each other like, can we do that? Because we were not, I was not an athlete. I mean, I did cheerleading. I'm not going to, some people will say cheerleading was being an athlete, but I didn't do all those flips and I wasn't like that. Okay. So we're like, I don't know. That looks pretty rough, man. And I don't know if I'm going to get thrown around the ring. But then when David said, well, this is how much you're going to get paid a week. And we're like, oh, we're down. Okay. So money talk, let me tell you, Rand. Let me tell you.
Now, perhaps you have seen the puny wrestlers like Thunderbolt and Lightning, Little Egypt, Justice, Tulsa. They have all been on the Michael show. However, where is Tina Ferrari and Americana? What are you so afraid of? Maybe you go on Good Morning America and you talk to weatherman about the weather? Are you kidding me? Why you don't come on Michael Rand's show and face me?
I'm very, very competitive, which is not a secret. But the thing about Family Feud, I guess that was more frustrating, was that if one of your teammates said something dumb, then it affects everybody. So I couldn't control what other people said. Like when the Americana girl on Family Feud, they said, name something that is towed. And she didn't say a boat, a camper. She said a frog. I have never wanted to drop kick someone more.
That was a classic one. I remember that.
Gosh.
And then also anything that came out of Jackie Stallone's mouth.
I'm glad you said it. I wasn't going to say it, but anything that came out of her mouth. So at least, but let me preface this with Family Feud might be the most fun I ever had in my life. It was such a blast.
And we have a congratulations in order because
yes.
a little birdie told us that you just got your Bachelor of Theology. So can you tell us about that?
Oh, I will. So, during the time that we did the interview last time during the COVID, when I got past that part and I said, I want to do some things for myself. And one was to go to school. As you know, I don't know if I was a pastor at that time. I think I was during the COVID part. And so I said, well, I just want to go to school and get my bachelor's degree in theology. And so that was accomplished. I graduated August 20th, 2022. And I'm so grateful for that. And thank you for acknowledging that and congratulating me, because to me, that is a big step toward the right direction.
Becky Mullen is the actress who portrayed Sally the Farmer's Daughter. She did pass away recently. She was a really good friend of yours. Can you tell us a little bit about your memories of Becky?
Oh my God, there's thousands. I don't know if everyone was super excited when Becky came back because she is a star. Do you know what I mean? Because we are women and there's a lot of cattiness, but everyone, for the most part, we tried to all get along. It's a lot for a lot of women. You put that many women together, there's going to be problems, especially on the bus, on the tour bus. But I got treated like Becky got treated. So that was kind of an issue. Do you know what I mean? It's like part of her deal was taking me in and giving me what she gets. And that's what I loved about her. She just took me under her arm and made sure that I was everything. But my fondest memory of her is when she showed up at my, she was at in my wedding. And she grabbed the microphone from the DJ's hand and she said, and she did it in her Sally voice. It was so funny. She said, everybody look at her. Look at her. I made her a star. She is a star. And I was dying. I started laughing so hard because it's so funny, because she was just, I just loved her so much. I don't know. There's so many memories I could tell you.
When I was working on that documentary, I never said, I'm working on this documentary and one day it's going to be a series. No, I just wanted the organic story to be told. I wanted to be able to say, wait a minute, this is not a story that only 6 people are going to tell here. Like this story started with people that I don't even know. Like we need to get this story and as many people together to tell this story as possible. And then it just evolved into this beautiful arc with Mount Fiji and just all of us coming together for the right reasons. And there are wrestlers in that documentary that want nothing to do with connecting to the fan base because they've just moved on from it. And if you're really curious about what these girls look like, watch the documentary, because there's a reunion scene at the end and you will see just how beautiful they are and just how amazing the story was and their efforts to come together just to see Mount Fiji one last time. God bless her soul. She passed away, but she did not pass away without knowing that she was loved, that her story was told, that she was important, and she never felt that she disappeared. She'll never disappear as long as I have breath in me, because my story doesn't exist without Mount Fiji.
Wow, those were some really cool Glow interviews. I enjoyed that. So what about my favorite thing, the Glow raps?
Oh, those Glow raps were awesome. I love them. I thought they were the perfect intros to those episodes. I loved watching all those raps. Why don't we take a moment right now to look at some of those raps?
From Los Angeles, California, the one, the only, Hollywood.
Well, Hollywood is here to rule the ring. Beating on people is my thing. You fans know that I'm really hot. There's not a move I haven't got. I'm tough, wild, strong, and slick, and I know every dirty trick. I'll hurt you every chance I could. You just don't mess with Hollywood.
I'm Godiva. I'm totally free, and I know I'm your cup of tea. And when I wrestle, you will feel a little dose of sex appeal.
My name is Ashley Cartier. Beverly Hills is where I play. I may be prissy and very rich, but get me mad and you'll see your witch.
We beat the Soul Patrol. We left Chicago to work for Glow. I'm Envy and she's Adore. People say we're rotten right to the core.
Yeah, hey, I'm Tulsa and I'm here to say howdy fans in a Western way. I may be sweet and I might look frilly, but I'm telling you now, I'm one tough filly. Woo!
I'm Thunderbolt of Comic Book Fame, and I want you all to know my name, because my opponents hit the floor as soon as they hear thunder roar. Bang, zoom, zap, crash, pow. Watch me beat the bad guy now, because in the end, they'll feel like zeros because they were beat by a superhero.
Bang, zoom, zap, crash, pow. Watch me beat the bad guys now. All bad guys will be in mourning. When I issue my storm warning, I take to the air and I give flight, and they will know they've seen the light.
Colonel Ninochka comes from Russia. America, I'm here to crush you. You boo me, you hate me all the time. You will pay, you capitalist swine. Back in Russia, where I rate, they call me Ninochka the Great. I know you all want me to go because I've pulverized all in Glow.
Contusions, bruises, a gaping hole. A fight with chainsaw really takes its toll. Come wrestle with me, I'm so insane. The only sensation you'll feel is pain. My daughter Shirley over there, she's perfect for you. Very little facial hair. Aggravation's taken 20 years off my life, and my husband Bernie left me for a younger wife.
Tiffany is sweet and Tiffany is bad. And if you don't believe me, just ask my dad. Mess with me and you will pay, 'cause I'm spoiled rotten. I get my way.
My name is Justice. I take no jive. You mess with me and you won't survive. In the ring is now my place. You mess with me and I'll break your face.
Wow, those were some awesome raps, Mike. And you know what? There were some other guests that were also inspired by our raps.
Yes, let's take a moment to take a look back at some of the other guests who have rapped on this show. From the Nevada State Correctional Facility, one half of Caged Heat, Loca.
Doing crazy times for my crazy crimes. You got me crazy going with these crazy rhymes. Yeah, this ain't no place for nobody.
I'm Lacey Von Erich. You know the name. The family's from the Wrestling Hall of Fame. Recall holds for Mrs. Not Fictitious because Lacey Von Erich has wrestled this.
It's BK Rhythm, and I only breathe success. So guess who is gonna come out victorious? It's me. I'm the one with the flow. So go ahead and be welcome to the Mike Rand Show.
What's up, YouTube? I'm on the Mike Rand Show, ready to wrap this for you. It's your girl, Brittany. You know, I'm absolutely stoked to be here with you today. I'm expecting the laughs, but especially the party. What's up, Mike? So excited to be here today.
Happy 100th episode of the Mike Rand Show. Yay.
Happy 100th episode of the Mike Rand Show. May it ever be fabulous.
Holly Meowy here. I wanted to wish a congrats to the Mike Rand Show for reaching its 100th episode. Yay! I've enjoyed being a part of the show over the past few years, and I just think it's perfect. I just wish you 100 more episodes and beyond. Congratulations again. I'm Holly Meowy. Bye for meow.
You know who I really liked was your next generation of wrestlers, and that is the WOW Girls.
Yes, it was so much fun having all the WOW girls on here. We got Lana Star. We got Faith the Lioness, who went on to become Nikita Lyons in WWE, and so much more WOW girls. Let's take a moment to look back at all those interviews.
Great.
Introducing the woman who loves the red carpet treatment. Direct from Hollywood, I've got the fabulous one, the sensational one, the self-proclaimed executive producer of the show, the most sought-after actress in Hollywood, and the woman with the longest introduction on the Mike Rand Show ever. Please welcome Lana Star.
Now that's how you do an introduction, David McLean, if you're watching. So I am so pleased to be back on the Lana Star and the Mike Rand Show. I had to reschedule a lot of things, but I will always do that for the Mike Rand Show.
And this is going to be the biggest and the baddest Mike Rand Show ever.
You know, I actually, before we start, I do have a coach tip. It's coach tip 3044. Always keep an ear out for new coach tips, especially when she's on the Mike Rand Show.
Slam Dunk doesn't need an introduction because everybody should remember Slam Dunk. Slam Dunk was Defensive Player of the Year, #3 in rebounding, and I dominated everybody in the ring. Slam Dunk, don't you ever, ever forget it. I slam.
Vicky Lynn has been a long-time friend of ours. I mean, I dated her rich uncle. He was an oil tycoon, so he passed away, unfortunately. You know, it's so sad.
If we have another title defense or another match with the twins and they pull off shenanigans, the next match after that, if that happens, cage.
Yeah, the only way I'm getting in the ring with them is to put us in the cage, lock us up, cage match.
We know you're foxy and we know you're fierce. But my question for you is, who is Foxxy Fierce? And what sets her apart from everyone else in WOW?
Oh my, okay, Mike, we're asking the tough questions. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty. Who is Foxxy Fierce? Well, I always say it's in the name. It's the Foxy, which is that poise, that grace, that beauty, that fun, femininity, and then the fierce, which is that strength, that tenacity, that power, that drive. So I feel like I'm that perfect fusion and combination of all those elements. And then I think what sets me apart, it's really simple. It's just me. It's not even, there's no getting into who's doing this or who's doing that. Like, me being myself is enough. And I want all the people to know that as well. Them being themselves is enough.
So where do you find inspiration for your music? How do you come up with your songs?
You know what? That's a really good question. If I'm feeling some type of way, like if I'm mad, I will write about it. Like, I will write what I'm feeling. If I'm like simping and in my feelings and I'm sad, I will write about it. If I'm happy, I will write about it. Honestly, it's really, I feel very intensely. So with that, like, it just kind of comes out into lyrics. And once I hear a beat, I just like freestyle any melody, and whatever I like, I lay that down on the recording first and then just start writing. And once a like a bar comes, or even a few bars, then it feels like it's nonstop.
I am Sophia Lopez, the greatest attorney in the world. And I have a major list of VIP clients. And they love me. They want me by their side because I have never lost a case. Actually, I make their lives easier because I introduce them to more friends on high places. So here I am, Sophia Lopez, the world's greatest attorney.
Getcha! I getcha! I said I rule the world, and I meant it. I meant it. That's right. I rule the world. May!
A lot of these girls are kind of catching on to my moveset, or what I can do, what I can't do. So they're also the WoW superheroes that I've been going against. They're doing their homework. So they know, hey, maybe Ariel Sky's coming in with this, but how can I counter it? So it is definitely been an advantage and disadvantage, because they know where to take me out and what's gonna hurt me.
There were a lot of girls in there that I would have loved to have a match with. I mean, I would have loved to have a match with Lana. That would have been so much fun. She is a great character, and we would always joke around what our stories would be like. And I think at some point, if we had continued on that way, it would have happened. But she's someone who I would have loved to have a match with.
Now, Lana, what did you see in Penelope that made you want to take her under your wing?
That's a great question, Mike. As you know, from past seasons and episodes, I've had a lot of proteges, and they never lived up to what they should have. You know why? Because I had my assistants go out and scout them. This time, I said, this is going to be the greatest season ever of WoW. I'm going to go out and do the scouting myself. So I looked all over the US and I saw Penelope, and I was like, that girl has so much talent and she looks good doing it. This is going to be who is going to bring me back the WoW World Championship belt that I'm going to place over my mantle.
Staying at the top isn't easy. The climb was hard, but staying right up there is even harder. But like I said, I'm never nervous about who's going to get in the ring with me. I'm always prepared, but you just never know what could happen. But that championship's going to be mine for, the rest of eternity. So too bad.
Americana literally distracted the referee, distracting me, allowing Genesis to roll me up. And then so after 10 years, going into the 11th year of me being on the roster, nothing but wins, beating everybody, I don't get my title shot because Americana wants to stick her nose in my business. And you know what? I was real upset about it, and I was in the locker room, and I just wasn't really clear what I was going to do. And then who shows up? My old tag partner, the Bullet Babe, Amber O'Neal. And she reminds me, like, I didn't never lose. I'm not someone who gets distracted. I'm not someone who worries about little kids or like some girl's conscience or anything like that. I am Jessie Jones. I make wrestling great again.
And that's truly, truly, truly the passion deepest in my soul is teaching people how to protect themselves, because unfortunately, my freshman year in high school, I was bullied, and these girls beat the crap out of me, and they beat me up really, really bad. And I had no clue how to fight. I had no clue how to protect myself. I had no clue what to do. And I never want that to happen to any other kids. So it's my life's mission.
So we had the Glow girls, we had the Wow girls, and my gosh, we had so many other wrestlers as well. We had Angel Orsini on our show. We had Lacey Von Erich. We had a bunch of independent wrestlers. Let's take a moment to look back at some of those clips.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Paul is a genius, and so amazing, his mind. It just blew me away. Like, I never had anything to say. I would just like be like a sponge, soaking it all up as much as I could possibly take in, you know. He remember matches that from like 1980, and he wasn't even in that match, and he could tell you what the finish was, what the story was, why it went down that way. It was just like, you know, why would you ever open your mouth and say a word? I want you to keep speaking these words of life to me about the wisdom of wrestling, you know. And hence, here he is in WWE, the wise man. Yes, is who he is. He's brilliant.
You never know with wrestling what's going to happen. You don't know how the audience is going to react to you. So you just always have to be ready, and you have to think on your feet constantly.
Always be respectful to others. No one will ever understand what someone else is going through. So if you give someone a hard time just because it's whatever's going on in their life, don't take it personal. Just still be respectful, still be the person that you are, still help with whatever is needed, still make sure you listen. You know, always pay the dues when needed, because you're never guaranteed that star spotlight.
You would never in my wildest dreams would I have thought I'd be tag team champions with Jerry Lawler wrestling David Arquette. Like nobody would have called that growing up, you know, my age or whatever. So it was just, it was really special. Jerry was great. Just a wealth of knowledge, super giving. Can't say enough good things about him.
We appreciate every fan that loves the Von Erichs, and I hope they love my daughter as much as I do.
What about it, y'all? This is Jessie Jones making wrestling great again on WOW, and I just want to congratulate Mike Rand on his 100th episode.
Congratulations on 100 episodes, Mike Rand. You did it, and that is amazing. What an accomplishment. Keep going. Let's get to 200.
Hey, Mike Rand. Happy anniversary. Happy 100th anniversary, and wishing you 100 more, 1,000 more, a gazillion more. From Cheryl Russa, a.k.a. Lightning, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
Wow, those were some great clips, Mike. Hey, wasn't there another guest of yours, RJ Rude, that has a band or something, a singer?
Exactly. He's not only a wrestler, but he also is part of a band. And, you know, we had many musical guests on this show. And Hollywood, one of them lives in Tennessee, Christian Davis. He's from Tennessee. So we've had many musical artists, producers, industry people, even an MTV VJ, Ananda Lewis, on this show.
Oh,
so let's take a look at some of the musical people that were on this show.
Excellent.
A radio programmer in DC one summer day in 1999 was looking for a song to play and came across that. He listened to it, put it on the air, and it started getting good feedback. Meanwhile, a radio personality from Z100 in New York City was driving through DC, heard it, tracked it down, and Z100, which is about the biggest radio station in the world, devoted their entire morning show on Friday to Summer Girls. And then it just took off from there.
I sold about 1 million records and was frowned upon almost because NSYNC was selling 8 million in the first week, you know, and it's just what it was. I mean, record sales were just phenomenal. Diamond Records right out the gate, like Destiny's Child. I mean, it was just a wonderful time. It was right when, I would say, because of CDs and the lack of the internet, like it was a controlled market. There wasn't any kind of streaming, or like you had to buy things back then. So you could get that tracking order of, I mean, I guess streams now you can track, but you can hype those up a little easier than you could actual CD sales back then. So it was just massive. It was awesome.
I mean, there were certain events like, let's say, Backstreet Boys and NSYNC come into Times Square, shut down Times Square. It was insane, the amount of people. Can you tell us what those crowds were like that you saw? Have you ever seen anything like that in your life?
The biggest crowd I've ever been in the middle of was at Woodstock 99 with MTV. Second to that, every time we did TRL, especially the NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys and all the boy bands that brought all the girls and all their friends out. But also like when Snoop and Dre drove through Times Square in the hoopty, I remember Whitney Houston TV that I hosted and interviewed her. Like that was a massive crowd. Mariah Carey, every time she came, like you think of the time and you think of the level of celebrities, at the time. And when MTV launched the Times Square studios, we became the only place to be, to go live directly to your fans. I mean, it was a completely different time. Now we all go live on IG whenever we want, right? But this was something special. It was like the beginning of all of this live, the beginning of all this reality TV, like watching people's lives. It was the beginning of that. And we had every single, the biggest stars you could think of wanting to be there in the studios with us to do that. And it was so special. I mean, at the time, I'm sure you never realize how special something is in the moment, right? You're not really supposed to, you're kind of focused on the experience, but looking back, you get the real gist of it. And now when I look back, I go, oh my gosh, what a massive, amazing opportunity and piece of history to be, forever tied to now.
Like I said, Idol is that industry boot camp. They'll put you through the ringer. They'll put you through that process. They'll take a piece of coal and they'll polish it into a diamond. And that's what they're known for. That's why Idol is consistently the show that churns out hit makers and superstars.
So we've been working together with California Dreams throughout the release. And that's when you got in touch. And today, as it sits right here, that went straight in at #1. So that is our most successful song so far.
I love guitar so much, and that's why RJ and I are in this band, because we both love music, and I can provide some of the background stuff, and he's really good at coming up with lyrics, and we come up with melodies together. So that's me. Oh, also, I should mention I'm visually impaired. I don't even know if I'm looking at the camera right now. It's all just a blur. And that's been a big inspiration for me to want to do this as well, because I want to show people, it doesn't matter what your handicap is, you can achieve your dream.
Wow, I love those musical guests, especially those rock and rollers. Hollywood loves rock and roll.
That's right. And you know what? Besides the music world, we had people from the TV and film world as well. We had people that are sitcom stars, that are in dramas, that are in film. A lot of them, we had Matthew Moy, Camille Guaty, we had the Cage Fighter cast. We had so many people on this show. Let's take a look back at some of those moments.
Excellent.
So how did you get involved in this new film, Cage Fighter?
I've been acting about 7 years now. I also have been doing fight choreography for a number of years as well. So I know Jessie personally, and I actually did the short film called Cage Fighter that Jessie did.
Spent a number of years working on the script, and then it started falling together a couple years ago, and here we are, a movie that's kind of out in the world, and people get to watch it.
My character is, a larger-than-life hustler. He's very ambitious. He cares deeply for his friend. Reese, played by Alex, a good friend. We're really good friends now as well as a result of the film.
If for anybody out there watching, pilots are tough because in 22 minutes, or if it's obviously an hour long, you can do it there. You have to basically say, okay, you are now plunked into our living room. Here's who all the characters are. Go.
People loved our show, and we had a lot of support all across the board, but particularly from the people. And I think whether it was letter writing or whether it was things with their schedule, but then we were told that, we were coming back, and then we came back, and our ratings were higher than they ever were.
Our rehearsal hall was next door to Baryshnikov's, and I guess Baryshnikov had left his sweater in the restroom, and John Lawler brought it in. He goes, "Girl," he's like, "look what I have." It was Baryshnikov's sweater, which he gave to me. I took it home and slept with it for like 2 or 3 days. And then I realized, because of my conscience, it's not my sweater. It's Baryshnikov's sweater. And no matter how famous or rich he is, it's still his property. It's not mine. So I went to the rehearsal hall and I knocked on the door. I said, "I have Mr. Baryshnikov's sweater." And one of the dancers was like really obnoxious. He's like, I'll give it to him. And, he just grabbed it for me and went inside. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was standing outside there. And then the door opened and there stood Mikhail Baryshnikov to say thank you to me.
Now, who out of all the cast members was the hardest to do scenes with because they were just so good that you possibly could crack up at their joke?
The hardest, Jennifer Coolidge, because I never knew what extra thing she always sprinkles a little bit of comedy magic on everything, whether it's making a face or it's doing an ooh or an ah or fidgeting or something. It's always so hilarious whenever she does it. It's like playing comedy volley. That's what I'd have to tell myself in my head. I'm like, I gotta throw the ball back to her. I gotta hit it back to her. I can't break down. Because I always wanted to bust up laughing. And the other person was Beth Bears, just because she and I would look at each other and we'd start giggling. We didn't even have to say anything funny. We would just look at each other and want to laugh.
And when Regis found that out, he said, "Hey, Paulie, come over. I want to sit you up in the director's booth while, Regis and Kelly's going on, and you can call out and see how it's going and see what's going on." And he was just always so gracious with his time to me looking back. I was a kid. I was a little, kid, and this legend would just spend time with me, and we talk about Notre Dame football. If it wasn't music, it was Notre Dame football, one or the other.
Get this, then they recast me, but nobody knows about this, but they recast me with one of my friends. I'm like celebrating the fact that she got Mari Cruz. Next thing you know, she goes to shoot, the 9 gets canceled, and I get a phone call, and I call her up. I'm like, "Hey, I'm heading out to Chicago to shoot. What happened?" And she's like, "What?" She hadn't been told the news yet. So I'm telling her the news that I guess I'm going back to shoot, and I don't know what's happening. So yeah, then she calls me and says, "Oh yeah, they're not using me." And I was like, "This is so nuts." And here I was having a party for her.
Oh, that's awesome. And I love all those stars, having all those guests. And, there's another sitcom, California Dreams, where we have almost the whole cast on this show. And, California, that's Hollywood's lifestyle, right? California?
Yeah, born and raised, Hollywood and Vine. We were born on the streets of Hollywood and Vine.
Yep. So let's take a look at some of the cast members from California Dreams.
I had gotten a call from my agent saying, "You got to go to this audition. It's for a show called California Dreams." And I was like, "California what?"
That for me was the highlight of the whole show, because getting a contract with NBC was amazing. But then getting a contract with MCA Records at the same time was like, for a 17-year-old girl, it was really hard to understand, to comprehend how cool that was. And we have, to this day, we have an album out there. It's hard to find, so I'm warning you. But it's awesome. And I do pop it in every once in a while. And I love that my kids love it and listen to it.
And I went and auditioned. They liked me, I guess. And they brought me back in. I ended up going in like 5 or 6 times.
The show was just, it was a kind of a beacon, and people kind of came and went for a variety of different reasons, whether guest stars, regulars, or just, musicians that came and visited us and so on.
And there was 3 of us. It was down to 3 people, and they were just, and we knew it, and we knew they were deciding between the 3 of us that day. So the 3 of us are sitting there while they call us in one at a time to go and read our lines or perform our lines in front of all these very important people. Yeah, sure enough, I got it, and rest is history.
Yeah, I'll never forget, that group hug at the end. Like none of us wanted to let go, and it was hard for Diana and I, and it was hard for Jenny and Jay, but nowhere near as hard as it was for Michael and Kelly and William. Like because they grew up together for the 5 years.
What we will discuss is the band is back together. And what I want to ask you right now is, what are some of the songs that you are most excited to perform during that concert?
I can guarantee you the theme song will be sung.
Well, the one that the fans really want to see is the next big thing. And so that's always a joy for me to do too, because I have to tap back into Tony a little bit to really do that.
Unfortunately, I can't play all of the songs that were on the record. I mean, there'd be like 3 hours worth of material with so many songs that we've recorded. But definitely some of my favorites, I want to make sure that we get to, like Low Road and things like that.
I don't even think I have words to express how unbelievable just the fans were. Like, they were so grateful. They were so, because when it's different when you are watching something as an adult, but when you grow up as a child and you impact a child or somebody younger, it stays with you for life.
Mike, it's Brentley Gore here. I just want to wish you a happy 100th episode. That's an amazing feat. You are worthy of applause and praise. Thanks for having me on. From Remy and I, we'll say over and out. Peace. Love ya, he says.
Hey y'all, it's Foxxy Fierce here, and I am wishing the Mike Rand Show a happy 100th episode, and here's to rolling into 100 more.
And another thing that I really like are those reality competition shows, especially the American Gladiators. Those were classic episodes.
Oh yeah, I liked Ice and Zap and Laser. They had really cool names, didn't they?
They did. They had awesome names. So let's take a look at some of the interviews with the American Gladiators.
Like, we want to see, you don't have to, do any audition. We want to see you run an obstacle course. I was the only one there. I was like, why? And they're like, we have this show. We've got you in mind. They're characters. And I guess Nitro, Gemini, Malibu, Lace, and Sky, or Sunny, Sunny, and then Zap. And I guess that I fit Zap.
I just remember them knocking on my trailer door, or my dressing room door, and they said, Tower, we need you on set. So it's like my first day, I'm eager beaver, and never been at really an active set before. And so I go running out to go do my, my call, and I run right into Arnold. And he looks at me, and he looks at me, he goes, you're that guy that's on the magazine right now, that big guy.
Actually, I want to ask you, what was your favorite event to do?
Bobby Joust. I just loved it. It was just me and that other person, that contender, and I got to be pretty good at it, and I just loved it. It reminded me of boxing, and I loved boxing growing up. My dad was a boxer, and I just loved it. And it was, you were 10 feet above the air and on this little pedestal, and if you were victorious and beat the contender, you were up there by yourself and doing high fives with to yourself, saying great job. And so yeah, I just loved it. It was a good feeling.
He goes, bodybuilding. He goes, no money in bodybuilding. And I look at him, and he goes, become a household name. That's where the money is. And I really didn't understand, Mike, what he was talking about. But, 2 years later, the show's the #1 syndicated show in America, or, pretty much across the world. And that words of encouragement that he gave me, become a household name, made bling bling sense to me,
And there was a call for G.L.O.W, on Netflix. And I was like, oh my God, this is perfect for me. Even my agent was like, this is a perfect role for you. So I went and auditioned for it. And I didn't hear anything for about a month. And when you don't hear anything for about a month, you can pretty much know you're done, But then all of a sudden he contacts me. And this was about 3 weeks before the pandemic happened. And he calls me, he goes, Lori. Yeah. He goes, are you ready to be famous again? And I went, what are you talking about? And I go, by the way, yes. He goes, they didn't want you for the one role that you actually auditioned for, but there is a role that you would be perfect for, they said. So they're putting you on hold, which means that once they get to that, you're going to be on. I was so excited. I was just like, this was perfect. It was literally the perfect role. Bam, the pandemic happened. I was like, are you kidding me? And then, so I was like, we're waiting because that whole summer, we were waiting for the pandemic to get over with and things are opening up again. And apparently, I don't know if it was Netflix that this thought that, let's just get rid of the show. They were in their last season anyway, but I was going to get to do an entire season with them.
And another awesome reality show that we had for competition is guests from Big Brother. I just love watching Big Brother. And I got to ask Hollywood, if you were trapped in a house and you had to stay there and do competitions for 90 days to win money, do you think you'd be able to do it?
I am a survivor. You're talking to Hollywood over here. Come on, give me a break. Yes, I could handle it. How about you?
I think I could, I would miss TV. I'm going to be honest. I'd miss the TV. I'd miss the cell phone because they take that away, but I can handle it. I can win,
Yeah, me too. If you put your mind straight to it, you can do it. You can do anything.
Exactly. I'm a competitive person. And I love the social game aspect of the show too, that I think I'd be really good at. So let's take a look at some of the memories of the Big Brother guests on the show.
It was a running joke in my family of like when I would get cut. Like that was the running joke in my household as to when would Brittany get cut in this casting process. And we started betting each other as to when that was going to happen. But then it never did. And it just kept going and going. And then
this is something I could see myself doing because I've always wanted to try the reality TV world. And I felt like it was a combination of both, obviously the social aspect and the competitive aspect. And I felt it was something I would really enjoy and thrive at.
And I remember taking those LSATs and I was terrible at it. So what I want to know is, how did you like taking those LSATs?
Oh my God, I absolutely did not like taking them. I was terrible as well. I actually took it 4 times because due to financial constraints, I really needed scholarship in order to go to law school. So I just kept taking that exam until I scored a good enough score to secure me a pretty decent scholarship from Florida State.
What I want to know is, I just had a friend move to Tennessee this week. I had somebody move there last year. I have many guests on the show that's from Tennessee. It's like Tennessee is the new hot spot. So can you tell me what it's like living in Tennessee?
So first of all, it sounds like you're due for a Tennessee trip. And second of all, Tennessee is awesome. It's so different from Maine. I am from a teeny tiny town where there's a bunch of old people and babies and ice cream, and it's very simple and safe and quiet. And I decided to randomly pick up my life and move to the craziest city ever in Nashville. I mean, it's awesome though. It's a melting pot of different people. It's so exciting. It's just music everywhere and fun, and just, it's so cool living in Tennessee. I'm so happy I did it. I have no regrets.
What advice would you give somebody who wants to audition for Big Brother?
Be yourself, know your story, be able to tell it, capture your audience, just bring the energy, be you. You don't have to make up anything. You don't have to be larger than life, but you need to be able to tell your story in your words to captivate whoever you're talking to. Never be afraid to be yourself. It is only me being myself what got me in that house. And it is only me being myself is what made America vote me America's favorite player. I never pretended to be anybody else. Although I have lots of personalities, I only use a few of them in the house. And just be yourself. You are everything you need to make it in this world. Everything you need to do, everything you need is already inside of you. Just be yourself.
You know what were some of my favorite episodes, Mike? The Christmas episodes.
Yes, the Christmas episodes. I loved them. We had so much fun filming them. We had you, we had Holly Meowy, we had Lana Star, we had Lightning, and we had so many special guests come out. Let's take a look back at some of the favorite Christmas memories we had on this show.
Take it away.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all across the land, people were streaming Lana Star and my friend.
Hi, this is Holly Meowy, and I'm the Cat's correspondent. I'm here with Santa Paws, and we've been searching high and low, North Pole, South Pole, you name it. We've been searching for special guests for this episode. Let's see who I can come up with. Meow.
The Michael Brand Show asked me to come today to discuss the true spirit of Christmas. It is about giving unto others, not receiving. For starters, it means no more free stimulus, you lazy Americans. Go get a real job. All you want to do is be social media influencers, make money on cryptocurrency, and work from home.
When you think of Christmas, don't you automatically think of Lana Star? Because Lana Star loves getting gifts.
For me, you know what the greatest gifts are? Really things that I really can use. My sister giving me hair dye. We're talking about, she's a hairdresser, and she always asks me, what do you want? Well, you always want gifts that you can use. I like practical gifts. So she gives me hair dye. I'm like, cool. We got to keep my hair looking fabulous, don't we? That's a great gift.
Dancer, Prancer, Comet, Vixen, Cupid. I'm saying I'm totally out of order. We've got, I don't know the song. We've got Dasher and Dancer and Comet and Vixen or Cupid. I can't do it. Oh my God, it's been so long.
Dasher the reindeer, Vixen and Dancer, Prancer, and Fabulous. We said Dixon already? I think we said Dixon already. Hold on. Did we say Dixon already? Let's see. Dasher. Did you say said that already? Darling. What else? Miami Sweet Heat. We're terrible, Mike.
Okay, and you know what time it is now, Hollywood?
You tell me. Is it the...
It's the lightning round.
Oh, no. Are you going to do it right now?
I'm going to show clips. You're safe this week. I'm not going to do it on you. But let's show some clips from the lightning round. Those were so much fun to do. And some of the answers people gave. Let's take a look back at them. I'm going to ask you two things, and you tell me which one you prefer.
You got it.
So the first one is baseball or football?
Football, all day.
Roulette or slot machines?
Roulette.
Mashed potatoes or coleslaw?
Mashed potatoes.
The tortoise or the hare?
Tortoise.
Superman or Batman?
Superman.
Lemons or limes?
Limes.
Facebook or Twitter?
Twitter.
Scream or I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Oh, I Know What You Did Last Summer. I know most people would say Scream, but I'm going to go with I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I agree with you on that one. I like that one too. Would you rather be able to fly or be invisible?
Fly.
Ping pong or air hockey?
Ooh, ping pong.
Spaghetti, rigatoni, or ziti?
Rigatoni.
Yes, that's my favorite too. But you actually, you do have a different favorite, correct?
I'm a big fusilli guy.
Yep.
Heard about this, huh? Yeah.
Yep, I heard about that.
I had to choose once, fusilli.
I love them all, but Rigatoni is actually my favorite one, though. The Home Alone movies or the Problem Child movies?
The Problem Child movies, because you know the Problem Child is Danny's brother, right?
Is it really?
Ponzi's brother, yeah.
Which one? Because there were
the redhead.
The original one?
I think maybe the.
Because I think there were two, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, there were two, and I think he was the second one.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up then.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. See, we learn all the time on this show.
I'm telling you.
We're very educational. This show.
Yes, we are.
Bigger attitude, surf dudes, or Brentley Gore when he's really hungry for hours?
The latter.
Better wrestler name, Earthquake or Tornado?
Earthquake.
And what's worse, spending a day at the ranch with Vicky Lynn McCoy or having a tea party with Aveline Maverick?
Oh, gee. Oh, I threw up in my mouth a little bit. Oh, God. They're terrible. They're equally terrible. I cannot choose. I cannot. I refuse. They're both equally as terrible.
Happy 100th anniversary episode. You know what? I'm Sophia Lopez, the world's greatest attorney, and I don't know if I should tell you, but also just got a contract with 100 more new episodes.
Mike, from one beast to another, have the biggest, have the baddest, have the happiest of birthdays.
Congratulations, Mike, on your 100th show. I'm so happy for you, and I cannot wait for more Big Brother interviews soon.
Hello, Colonials. Godiva here from the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. And I'm here to let you know that Mike Rand is celebrating the 100th episode of his podcast. Those are the bare facts. Just kidding, Mike. Not kidding, actually. Congratulations. It's a huge deal. And I'm really happy and proud to have been able to be a part of it. So, ta-ta for now, loves. Talk to you soon.
So, Mike, I have a question for you. Do you have like a blooper reel?
Oh my gosh, I knew this was going to come up. We're going to have to save that for another episode because we have some really funny bloopers that I don't know if we can show them here.
I'm sure you can. Come on. I know I made quite a few.
Yeah, there were some people that made quite a few bloopers, and myself included.
I got a surprise for you.
Okay.
3, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rand Mike. You know what? Thank God we're not live, right? Of course we're live. We'll do it again.
Start that again.
I need a producer or something here.
I love meeting fans. And sometimes the fans love meeting us. Hopefully, anyway.
All right, here we go. Take two.
Oh my God. We're still recording? I promise you I won't put that in.
Are we still recording?
We're still recording.
Goodness.
3, 2, 1. We're always ground. It was 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1, then count in our heads. Oh my God, am I?
3, 2, 1. We're always grounded. I thought you were doing it.
You said you
okay,
were
I'll
doing
do it.
You said...
did he not practice the line and then?
Cut it, Mike. Let's start over.
Okay, hold on a second.
What? Okay. All right.
You know, we'll start it again from the top.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry.
We can
okay. I'll flow with this side.
Good blooper reel one day.
Yeah. Right. Let that be a blooper. That's gonna be funny. You got to do a bloopers. I know you have a bunch.
We had so much fun sharing these memories with you guys today. Thank you, Hollywood, for joining us here today.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
And thank
Happy
you.
100.
Thank you. And thank you to all the guests who participated in the 100th episode, who sent well wishes, and all the guests that were on the show. It was a pleasure having you all. Thank you so much. It means so much to me. And Hollywood, how can people contact you?
Well, if you guys are X, formerly Twitter, that's at Glow Hollywood. My Instagram is official Glow Hollywood, and my soap company has an Instagram as well, which is NashvilleBotanica.com. And don't forget, the title of my autobiography is Inside Glow, a Hollywood true story. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did writing it for you all.
Yes, that's going to be awesome. So check that out. And you guys can follow me on social media. On Instagram, I'm at Official Mike Grand. On Facebook, Official Mike Grand. On X, I'm MikeGrand.com. And the website is MikeGrand.com. And you can check out all these episodes on YouTube at Official Mike Grand and The Mike Grand. Thank you again, Hollywood, for joining us here today.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Happy 100.
Thank you. And thank you to all the fans for all your continued support. And I can't wait to come out with some more great episodes. We have some great ones in store for you. So keep it right here for some more great interviews. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank
you.
you for joining us on the Mike Grant Show.
Hey, happy 100 to Mike Grant. 100 shows. That is freaking amazing. All right, happy 100th, and I can't wait to see the next 100 because your stuff is super cool, and thank you for having me on. Happy 100th.
That's all for now, loves. Talk to you soon.